A big night for Gateshead Football Club as a win would secure a place in this season's National League playoffs. Yes, good evening everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. It is Monday the 15th of April 2024 and tonight, for the first of 3 times this week, we're off back to International Stadium. It is Gateshead versus this season's champions Chesterfield in the National League, and as I alluded to just then, a win would guarantee the Heed a playoff spot. So it goes without saying this is a massive night for the football club. Let's get into this, let's get that spot secured with 2 games to go, and let's head on up to Gateshead. So here I'm in Gateshead, and as you can possibly tell by my hair or whatever, there was a massive downpour just as I got off the train. All I'm going to say is that I'm really sick to the back teeth of this weather now, as I'm sure most people are, and anyone that at any point complains that it's too hot or dry this summer quite frankly deserves it when we're getting this kind of weather again. But anyway, going into this evening's game, Chesterfield are of course top of the league, won the league, did it quite some time ago. 23rd of March it was, but since then they've lost every game, and I think the fans are a little bit unhappy about it, complaining of a lack of professionalism. I mean, I know in the grand scheme it doesn't really matter, and obviously in that time they have faced teams that still had everything to go for, so York, Kidderminster and Wealdstone, but I think like the one at the weekend against Wealdstone like really left a bit of a sour taste for them. I think the fans are starting to complain of a lack of professionalism, and I think as a club they'll be looking at that, and they'll come up here tonight wanting to maybe prove a point to some degree, but obviously we still got everything to go for as well. Still in 6th place following Saturday's really disappointing 2-1 loss away at Maidenhead in the last minute, but all the shots 3-0 loss against Boreham Wood later in the day does mean that if we win this game tonight, then it would be secured for us, and I think at this moment in time the aim probably has to be to try and finish 4th or 5th, get the eliminator here. I mean, 3rd at this moment in time is still a possibility, but what it would mean is that we'd have to win all of our last 3 games and hope Bromley get beat off of Oxford City. Of course, Bromley are our last game of the regular season up here on Saturday. Aldershot coming up in midweek for that rearranged game, and obviously a win tonight would secure it, but 2 points from these next 2 games, so a draw tonight and a draw on Wednesday would also secure it, but would most likely mean an away game in the eliminators, then obviously away in the semi-final as well. So I think maybe since New Year, like the form's maybe turned on its head a little bit, hasn't it? Like before Christmas I'd say we were doing better away, and if it came down to it in the playoffs I'd want to be away all the time, but I think now I'd probably just most likely want to be at home. So I think that's got to be the aim. Just got to try and put these last couple of disappointing results behind us and just focus on the here and now. Obviously this is a different kind of game to what we got against Chesterfield in January when they stuck 5 past us. I think at that time it was probably the worst possible fixture we could have had. Obviously our squad absolutely decimated, new players coming in, really thrown in at the deep end, but tonight it's a little bit different. Obviously they're already over the line, but as I say, I'm not expecting them to be slacking off tonight, and I think there's a little bit of discontent around the rearranging of this fixture. Obviously it was meant to be tomorrow night, but for purposes of integrity of the league, they've decided that they wanted it tonight, so could face Aldershot on Wednesday, then have an extra couple of days before the Bromley game. But we didn't want that, Chesterfield didn't want that. Like, we had a plan in place, almost accepting that we were going to be playing on Thursday. Obviously Chesterfield have made plans to go and pay the fans, especially, who have been left out of pocket. So integrity my arse is all I can say about that. But nevertheless, it's a big night for the club, and hopefully by the end of it we'll finally, at the third time of asking how our playoff spot secured, let's head into the International Stadium and find out how it all unfolds. So I've had to miss the players' warm-ups because the weather's just done more bloody sound damage to my phone. I'm fuming about it. Anyway, Chesterfield will be in all blue this evening, and Gateshead will be in the white and black home strip. Anyway, I'll see you when the players are coming out of the tunnel and ready to start the match. So Gateshead are coming out first. We're going to observe a guard of honour to Chesterfield. Oh, it looks as though we're observing a guard of honour to Dale Walker there. That cold, I can't hear you from Edinburgh. Come on! 5-0. That was always like. First time we've really got forward all game, we've got a penalty out of it. Massively against run of play, but we'll take it. Harness! What's the goalie doing? Had it then. Go on! I don't think so. I think he won the ball there, I've got to say. Come on, Connor. Get it! They're just going to try anything to get one now, aren't they?
And that was a penalty.
Go on! Send him!
Harrigan. Oh!
Carlisle.
No. Blow for half time, man. Half-time, Gateshead 2, Chesterfield 0, 1 foot in the playoffs. What else needs to be said? At the start of the game, I think we were getting absolutely battered, really. Chesterfield, with some of their play, were probably showing why they are the worthy champions this season. But as the half grew on, I think we did gradually start to take a bit of control. And obviously it is 2 penalties that has us in this position. And the first one perhaps justified. I mean, it was going at quite a pace, and that's been the story of the half, really. It has been quite a high tempo to it, I'd say. And the irony of all this is, in the last few days, this is by an absolute country mile the best pitch that we've played on. The surface actually looks really nice tonight, I've got to say. But obviously Luke Cannon dispatched both penalties. The first one, they're perhaps justified, but the second one, I'm not going to lie, I think we've got a massive rub of the green there. I think the keeper won the ball fair and square, but it is a more important game for us than what it is for Chesterfield, and I think that's maybe showing out there so far. I mean, Paul Cook hasn't been best pleased with 1 or 2 decisions, and obviously finds himself on a yellow card, but we've got to be careful. Obviously Chesterfield do have quality in the starting lineup, they've got quality on the bench, so it's definitely not over yet, but we are in control, and that is of course the main thing. It's going to be 3 minutes of added time. We're nearly there.
Come on! Put in the playoff!
Our little club are in the National League playoffs.
Full-time Gateshead 2, Chesterfield 1, and with that a place in this season's National League playoffs is secured. I think we just need to say what needs saying really. This is Gateshead Football Club we're on about. We might not have the biggest fan base in the world. Our budget might be a fiver and a pack of Tang-Fast sticks, but our passion and our endeavour has just led us such a long way this year, all the way to the FA Trophy final and now all the way into the National League playoffs. And I think I'd probably argue that getting into the National League playoffs is probably the bigger achievement of the two, because I think you do have to bear in mind we did play, other than in the third round, it was lower league opposition all the way in the FA Trophy, but then again we did still have a job to do in that. But I think in terms of the National League, like as I say, financially, we shouldn't be anywhere near some of the clubs that we are going to be finishing above this season. But I think what we have shown, like as I said, financially we shouldn't be anywhere near this position. But in terms of what we've given this season, the football we've played, the quality we've shown, it's nothing like. It's sort of nothing more than what we deserve, really. So a massive hats off to everyone at the football club, especially at this moment in time where it is just an absolutely relentless schedule. Luke Cannon, I think, deserves a pretty special mention because he played, I think, 90 minutes at Fylde, 90 minutes at Maidenhead, and I think a good 60-65 tonight, so he's totally ran himself into the ground for this football club. So yeah, he definitely deserves an honourable mention, and there was just so much fight in that tonight. I think for Chesterfield, yeah, I think there was probably a bit more of a response from them tonight than what their fans have been saying that there's been in recent weeks. They've had a lot of the ball tonight, but it was strange towards the end of the game. Like, they didn't really have any urgency to actually go and find an equaliser. It reminded me a little bit of a pre-season friendly, and it did feel very weird being there on a Monday night. Obviously I'm very much a man of routine, and a Monday night is normally when I'd be just maybe chilling out a little bit, but obviously I've had to come up to the football tonight. But it will be, a night that will go down in the memory, and it's the first time in a decade that we've made it into the National League playoffs. Also, it was the conference playoffs back then, and I'd argue, and this is in no way a disrespect to the lads of that team from 10 years ago, but I think this year when we've done it is probably a bigger achievement. I know obviously back then there was, obviously now there's an extra two spots available compared to what there was back then, but financially we were probably one of the more better off teams in the league back then, and it was probably a bit more of a level playing field anyway. So yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant achievement, and I guess all that's left now is to see if we can get 4th or 5th and give ourselves a home game in the eliminators next week. I mean, as we say, if Oxford beat Bromley tomorrow, then 3rd place might even still be on, but for now maybe just got to be realistic about it. Obviously move on to Aldershot on Wednesday night, which is probably going to be a pretty fiery game given everything that happened last week, and obviously Aldershot have still got playoffs to go for. There's been a bit of back and forth between the clubs, so I'm sure we'd love it if we could totally slash their tyres, if that makes sense. But yeah, a great night for the football club, and it was a good atmosphere in there tonight as well. I thought obviously like, it was only what 700-800 there, something like that. I think a lot of that was affected by the lateness of the changing of the fixture. It was only I know will most definitely like stopped a lot of Chesterfield fans from coming up, but fair play to the ones that did. Obviously, it's like, I don't know, I was saying maybe didn't make a lot of noise, but then again, it was probably it felt like a bit of a pre-season friendly for them, really, didn't it? But as far as we're concerned, we've achieved what we've maybe set out to do at the start of the season. I remember the Player of the Year awards last year. Greg Ollie said to us, playoffs next season, I'm telling you now, and he's been every bit as good as his word. Obviously at Wembley he said we'd be back, and we're back there, so where can this football club go from here? But I mean, regardless, it's been an unbelievable effort this year, and it's going to take even more. It's just another game to add to an already grueling schedule, but yeah, it just feels excellent. I really must say that. But that is that for this video, and I'll be back tomorrow night with Whitby Town versus Morpeth Town. So quite a lot of big games this week, but that's maybe a bit of a nothing game, but not all the same. Always enjoy a trip to Whitby, so definitely looking forward to it. Until then, take care, cheers for watching, see you later.